Okay, y'all, I had to start. I'm so crazy. Hey, Parker Posse. It's Thursday, almost end of the week. I started a video, had a whole little intro here, and pushed the video, turned it off instead of unpausing the TV. So, let me just put the remote in my hand. Maybe that'll trigger something. Anyway, I was doing some piddling around, repotted my spider plants because it was time for them to go into a new pot. So I just got one just a bit bigger than the ones they were in, so it wouldn't be too much of a shock putting them in a really big pot. And just kind of, as they grow, let them grow out of the pot. But anyway, while I was piddling around and doing stuff, I decided I would go over and check and see what our old van lady was up to. And no matter how long you've been away, it's sort of like the soaps. No matter how long you hadn't watched a soap that you used to watch, you could watch one episode and fall back in and know what everybody's doing. Pretty much the same with her. She had a whole menage of her lovely favorites that she liked to sing. Friendship, Bad Women, The Devil. This woman has never had friends. There's no way possible that when you met somebody like Justine in your 50s, that it should have affected you as much as it did, considering that y'all didn't spend that much time together. I mean, a few weeks. And you would have thought that she had been knowing her for years, because it's 2 years later and you're still singing the same song about this relationship. Okay, y'all met each other. It wasn't a match as far as a friendship. Move on. It wasn't like that much was invested. She was a YouTuber. You was a YouTuber. She reached out because she wanted to know about van life. Y'all thought y'all hit it off, and for whatever reason you didn't. But yet, you're still talking about her, and she has moved on and grown her channel and doing what she do. I mean, being on TV programs and all this other stuff. And you still over here singing the blues about a relationship that was really never was. So that's what she's doing. Yet, she's never going to call her name. But for those of us who was around when all this happened, you know who she's talking about. And my thing is, if she wasn't a person that because the rest of us ain't good women, she's the only good woman. Why is it that you copy her pajamas, her videos, the titles of her videos, and still talk about her? So let's listen real quick. I ain't gonna make this a long video because I still got stuff that I want to do this afternoon. So let's just listen, and I'm going to commentate.
And don't, when you see people are not the type of friends that you would want them to be, don't accept that.
Why she ain't never done anything wrong? Why is it everybody else?
That. Like I had met this woman.
Here we go. She met this woman.
We were becoming friends.
Mm-hmm.
Or we were associates. I'm not going to say we were becoming
Thank you. But yet it's 2 years later and you still whining about it.
She was in the streets. She did drugs.
I'm sure the drugs she talking about maybe smoking a joint.
She got drunk all the time.
People can drink as much as they want. You lie.
She used men.
You use everybody.
She did drugs with her children.
Okay, so she might have smoked a joint with her.
And actually, literally, did drugs with her children.
And?
That's not nobody I want to be friends with.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that ain't why you stop being associates, but you ain't never gonna tell the truth on that one. You ain't never gonna tell the truth on that one, is you? Nessa.
That's not nobody I want to be friends with.
Yes, you did. Badly.
So, I was like, deuces, peace. I didn't have an argument with the lady. I didn't even tell her, you're not the type of person I want to be friends with. You do drugs with your children. You drink a lot. You lie a lot.
She drink a lot. She lie a lot.
I didn't.
And you
Tell that
right
lady,
now,
I
you
just
say you
like-
ain't sleeping, but don't nobody know what you're doing.
I'm gonna leave her alone. I don't want to be friends with her. Like that's, I've never done drugs before in my life. I don't want to be around nobody that would drink and drive. I don't want to be around nobody that's doing drugs with their
As
children.
much as this woman drink
Like,
Dollar Tree
even
wine.
if you are doing drugs, I just don't think that's something that you should do with your kids.
It's not.
And I don't care how old they are.
It's
I
not
think
your
you
choice.
should not try to be friends.
Okay, listen to this. Listen to this.
With your children, you need to have your own kids. If you 40 and 50 and 60 years old, even if your children and you had them young, even if your children are 30 and 40 years old, don't go out with your children. Don't go to the club with your children. Don't hang out with your children. Don't do drugs with your children. Don't let your children call you by your first name and don't call you mom.
Okay. You know, I'm really tripping on this section here. Not only is you still talking about this association that you had over 2 years ago and you still whining about it, and we all trying to figure out why you ain't got past it. But who are you to tell people what they should do with their children? You the judge and jury? Because last time I checked, God was the only one that judged people, and you ain't God, even though you think you are, because you do no wrong. It's always everybody else. Everybody else is doing something wrong, but you don't even have a relationship with your child. So how you going to tell a person that has a relationship with their children what they should or should not do? Her children are adults. Back in the day, in my younger days, me and my mom went out. Me and my son have gone out. When they are adults, you can do adult things with your children. I consider me and my son on a certain level friends. Of course, I'm not the type of friend he has with his other friends. It's a different type of friendship. But we have a relationship where we can talk about anything. Why? Because he's an adult male. I'm going to sit around and talk about childish things with him? He's a grown man with children. And that's ridiculous. And we can go do whatever we decide we want to do. If we want to get high together, get drunk together, we can do that. Why? Because we're both adults. And it doesn't take any respect from me or me disrespecting him, because we have a healthy relationship and a mutual loving friendship relationship that he's not going to disrespect me any more than he would disrespect me if we wasn't drinking and getting high together. You know what I'm saying? All parents fall in and out with their children. But it's like you are so jealous-hearted that she has a healthy relationship with her children and she can go out and eat dinner and do things with them. There's nothing that says that you can't do stuff with your kids and you can only do stuff with another friend or a partner. That's crazy. That's what keeps families together, them going out together and breaking bread or having a cookout or going to a park or doing whatever it is that you want to do as a family. But because you have no association with your real family and they think you crazy as hell and you don't deal with your son or your grandchild or however many he may have at this point, you don't think nobody else should. You're the very unhealthy one, ma'am. Not anybody else, but, you know, hey.
That's, girl.
That's what.
I can't do that.
You don't do it.
And I don't want no friend like that. I don't want no friend
Because you
that
jealous?
sit up and lay up and do drugs with their kids, go to the clubs with their kids, hang out with their children. It's no level of respect.
That's not
to
true.
To me, that person,
Oh, here we go.
when a female or a male hang out with their children and go to the clubs with their children and do things with their children,
Give us that advice.
with somebody their own age, to me, they haven't grown up. To me, they're still childish and immature. And to me, they don't respect themselves. And
Oh, baby. She want to talk about immaturity. How about a grown-ass, almost 60-year-old woman living off of another over 60-year-old woman, cleaning up her house to pay her way because she don't give her no money. And this woman is paying the electric bill, the water bill, putting food in the house, putting clothes on your back, buying you stuff. Oh my gosh, you're building out your vehicle in her front yard, using her power tools and all this stuff. You're literally living off a person that you've only known in the last 2 years. And you are sitting here wanting to talk about somebody who has a healthy relationship with their children, and they are the immature one and haven't grown up? Y'all, as they've been saying in the streets, make that make sense. Make that make sense to me.
That's why the kids don't respect them.
Okay.
The kids are their peers because they play with their kids.
So when you live off another grown woman, what does that make you?
Kids, but you have a level of respect.
You're not that person's peer.
There's some things that you do with your kids, and it's something.
Tell us, what things can you do with your kids?
Drinking and doing drugs and partying and going out to the club, that ain't nothing you do with your kids. You get a friend or a man for that.
Oh.
So when I seen this female
From the book of Vanessa.
drinking, doing drugs with her kids,
Drinking and doing drugs.
hanging out with her kids, asking her kids, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Don't even have a mind of her own. Her children got to correct her every word she says. She don't know how to talk. She don't know how to speak. It's like her children have to be there to be her brain.
Now, you know that this woman is a sick individual, that she dislikes a person so much that she knew or hung out with for less than a month. And it's 2 years later, and you still want to call the person names and all this stuff. Now, help me. What is wrong with getting the opinion of your adult children? Because they're your children, they may not have good advice, or they don't have an opinion that's one that you can listen to and implement or go by. These are your children. These are your seeds. So you don't think they're smart enough to be able to give you good input back? Or good output? Whatever. Input, yeah. And then, her, of all people, talking about somebody can't talk. When she tried to read the dang on comments, she be reading like she in first grade. But unfortunately, you don't have a relationship with your child, so they can't correct you, because if you did, he probably would have shown you by now how to talk correctly, ma'am. But she has the nerve to call somebody else stupid. Now, this is the thing. Everybody else is bad women. Just horrible women. But the good Christian woman is out here telling a horrible story about another woman that she couldn't be friends with. Now, as the good woman, couldn't you have said, I have met women in my life that we just were not compatible due to we just lived our lives differently, and I found out after us hanging out with each other that these were not the type of women that I wanted to have in my life. Didn't have to go into no whole scenario. Could have told a very generic story. Didn't have to call nobody out their name and say they can't talk and they ain't got no brain and the children got to pretty much lead them around. But that's the Christian woman saying this. This is the advice from the good woman, y'all. The good woman.
That's not nobody. That person not even on my intellectual level. We not on.
What damn level? What level is she on? Is there a level for her? She has the nerve to call somebody and say they ain't on her intellectual level. Woo, this woman, I don't know what she be smoking over there in the desert, but she be smoking something out there, smoking cactus or something.
Same level. We not the same kind of woman. We not
yeah,
the same
that woman cleans and washes, puts on perfume, dressing herself up, looking nice.
Some situations with this person where they just outright lie.
And she hasn't lied.
On other people.
Lied on YouTube.
And if you see somebody lying on other people,
nobody.
They gonna lie on you one day.
Nobody should hang out with you.
They don't have a conscience.
You.
So I seen this person outright lying on other people and trying to antagonize other people, and I was like, that ain't nothing. I can't be friends with nobody like that, because if you know they're saying, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything.
Like you?
And that kind of stuff is not cute to me. You could affect somebody's life, change somebody's life forever. You could call somebody.
She is always the victim. Always the victim.
Hurt themselves because what you're doing to them and how you're lying on them and how you're playing with them and how you're trying to manipulate them.
She always the victim.
And because I have suffered from depression, self-harm before in my life.
Oh, here we go.
I don't appreciate nobody doing that kind of stuff.
But you do it.
I'm not gonna be around you.
But you're doing it right now.
Manipulator, and you're the type of person that will antagonize people and try to torment people.
What is that when she went and got stuffed animals and called us out of our names?
All these signs that God was showing me about this person. I knew that there wasn't nobody I wanted to be friends with.
Oh my God.
I don't go to no clubs no more.
No, you're just a horrible woman that's evil and is a stalker.
What I look like being friends.
You are a crazy stalker.
Drugs. What I look like
we wish you would use some drugs. It might help you out.
What I look like being friends with a woman that
drugs
with her kids.
The best thing that ever happened was that you claimed you left because you didn't like her lifestyle. That was the best thing that happened to her.
Problems.
You were the problem.
Because we see stuff, but then we still walk into it.
Ma'am.
No, you're not walking into it. Don't walk into that. That person is not your friend. That's not the friend that God has.
Oh my God.
What
is this friend thing?
Don't even embrace that.
She's a 60-year-old woman talking about friendship.
I thought that was a nice person. I thought that's somebody I would kick it with. But now I see that that's not somebody that I want to be friends with. That's not the type of person that I want to have.
Oh my God.
You have to realize it's...
I'm just going to stop this here because I got stuff to do. This crazy ass woman is going on and on about a relationship that lasted less than a month. She does not even really know this woman. And the things she's saying are so ludicrous. Because this woman is probably the epitome of evil, manipulation, lying, a drunk. I mean, we could just go through her own video catalog and show her drunk. Child, like I said, the best thing that ever happened to the woman that she's talking about is that you left. Because you are a scary individual that 2 years later, you're still whining about this and doing stuff to this person because you despise them so much and all they did was be themselves. Ain't nothing wrong with them. There's something wrong with you. But hey, I'm just this old crazy woman who don't have no life and she fat and she just sit on here and bully folks. So, I maybe I don't know nothing. Maybe I'm just completely wrong. Y'all tell me. Y'all help me make it make sense. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.